Hello to everyone. So the time to enjoy life is now. So I thought I am going to stop everything I'm doing and I am going to enjoy life right now. So here is the picture I bought at the thrift store. I think I paid under $3 for it and I've really enjoyed it. And I lit my candle that Misha and Mikey gave me for my birthday and I really love it. And now is time for some, oh, what is wrong with me? Time for tea. Mint tea, my favorite. I buy this mint tea at Dollar Tree. I find it to be good. So, okay, so life was good and I was enjoying life and I got this most heartwarming comment and I want to share it with you in case you guys didn't see it. Another thing is I have 90 new followers this month. That is a lot of people. You know, when I first started this thing, I don't know how long it took me to get 100 views. It took me 100 days at least. It took the longest time to get 200 views, so if you're new, if you have a new channel, don't be disheartened. Okay, the message was from Jeanette A. Hi, Rhoda. I was thinking about you today. I keep a stockpile now thanks to all your great vids. Thank you, Jeanette. So anyway, a friend of ours knocked on the door this morning and said, he is out of money and has no food. So I went straight to our stockpile and put together a bag of food that he could eat for the next couple of days until he gets paid. You are right, God provides. I remember being pretty darn broke in the past and it could happen again. I was pretty damn broke my whole life. None of us is immune to hard times. That's true. That's true. It is best to be prepared as possible for our own benefit as well as for the benefit of others. Well, I just wanted you to know that you make a difference in the lives of people you will never meet. Thank you, and then smiley face. I thought that was the sweetest comment of all time. And so, you know, it was like when I used to build hair businesses. I would just try to get one customer and then I'd just try to get another customer and it would grow and grow and grow. And thank you for that gracious, sweet comment. I have followers to die for. I want to thank you all for your comments. And then I had another great comment from Pamela, mother of Donna Michi. She left the comment that her grandmother used to put blueberries in the cake. Okay, this is what I like. Okay, these comments are, everybody can read the comments, and now everyone can put blueberries in their cake. Look how much cake I ate. This is the best cake I ever made. So the time to enjoy life is now. I mean, I don't want to pig out because, you know, I'm going to make a tea party pretty soon. So, by leaving that comment, my grandmother she had a lot of great cakes though. She really did. She had a chocolate mayonnaise cake that was delicious. And in the day, this is good. In the day, she would make a big, huge cake, and then, you know, they would eat it. We would eat it until it was gone. So thank you, Pamela. Okay, you guys, if you haven't tried this, you gotta try this. I've got to enjoy life, of course. Oh, you guys, this is the best cake. Let me show you a close-up. You gotta try this. For a half the cake, I put 3/4 cup frozen blueberries in my cake. Okay, because, oh, I wanted to tell you something. This was funny. Okay, you know, the dog, my son's dog is getting very spoiled. And so this lady I know, she went to a really fancy party, and they had bone marrow, and it was still in the bone, and you would take it out of the bone and you would put it on, I assume, some crackers or something. So she was at the table and no one was eating their bone marrow, and she knew it was like not the, you know, her husband would be embarrassed and want to kill her. So she asked everyone, are you going to eat that? And they said no. So she took all, at their table, they had like a huge table. She took all the bone marrow bones home to her dog, and he loved it. Her husband wanted to kill her. I could see myself, you know, my boyfriend used to take every last, you know, we would go out to eat, and he would take every last drop of food home to the dog. These dogs, you know. So anyway, okay, so that was a great comment, Pamela. Thank you. So, you know, I've been doing the tea party thing, and it reminded me of something. And what it reminded me of is I used to go to this church, and they used to have a meal after the church service. And we would go to, we would go, and I would go to try and help them set up the food, because it was like a huge meal, and there wouldn't be enough food. And I'd look at that food and I'd say, wow, there's no way. Well, the ladies would pray, you know, pray, and this was every week, pray over the food, and then they would start to cut the food in little pieces. And I noticed when, you know, I did my tea party, I easily eat 1.5 sandwiches, but when I had all that food cut in little pieces, the food goes further. It goes a lot further. So remember that. Well, remember the story about Jesus multiplying the food? So anyway, somehow, if you've ever been to a very expensive restaurant, you know, the foods are very small portions. A bite of this, a bite of that. But when you're done, you're so full you cannot move. So, okay, now I have 90 new followers, and so I want to go over the rules, and I have added a rule. Rule 1, be grateful to God. Rule 2, park in the shade. Otherwise, take shelter. One of my customers, there is a tornado coming, and her son drove truck, you know, across the country, and we were watching the news, and you know, this semi was thrown through the air, and she goes, I sure hope that wasn't my son. It was. It was. He had parked in like a ditch, pulled off and parked. But that was her son, and he was okay. So take shelter. Park in the shade, because another thing is if you're doing the car living, park somewhere where your vehicle and yourself are out of the elements. 2, enjoy life. This is what I'm all about. I'm enjoying life right now. Number 3, buy everything at the cheapest possible price. I mean everything. If you do it, your money is going to go further. You're not going to have any more money, but you're going to have more of everything you buy because you're being cheap. 4, God provides. You know, in this comment, where she said, you are right, God provides, that really warmed my heart, because Ricky and I had a friend, Peggy Horn, and she taught us that, and you know, it gets into your mind, God provides, and pretty soon you start getting faith. And she's been dead a while, but you know, the God provides, that's really true. 5, watch and pray no accidents. You know, every time I get in my car, I pray. The other night, you know, when I was doing the dumpster diving, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys. It wasn't at night. And I said, just get me through this in one piece. And I prayed, watch and pray, no accidents. And sometimes, you know, I will do the most klutzy thing and I won't hurt myself. And I say, thank you, God. Okay, now we have another rule. 6, if things look bleak, pray to God for help. I mean, sometimes things are so damn bad, you go, I cannot see a way out of this mess. I can't. There's no way out. This is the worst problem. But just like Jeanette's friend, he went to the door, he knocked on the door, he asked for help, and he got some. But if he just sat in his house, it probably would have been a really bad 2 days. There was a preacher, an Adventist preacher, and in that church you're supposed to buy a farm. But you know, he was poor, farm nothing. How is he supposed to buy a farm? So he went to the banker with no money down, little money down, and the banker goes, "You're going to be right back here. You are not going to be able to pay for this." And he was full of faith, and he said, "Somehow God will help me." So the banker goes, "Okay, but you're going to be right back here, and you're not going to be able to pay for this." So he got the farm, and all the family said, "This is presumptuous. You cannot afford this. There is no way." So, okay, sure enough, the time came, and he couldn't pay for the farm. And he said, "God, you know, I'm faithful. I know you're going to help me. There's a way. There's a way. I'm going to get in my car, and I don't know where I'm going, and I'm going to drive, and I'm going to get help somehow." So we got in his car, and he started driving, and he was driving, and he said, no, I don't want to do that. And he drove to the bank. He drove to the bank, and he said, "Oh my gosh." And he went in, and he said to the banker, he said, "You were right. I can't pay for this. Can you help me?" He asked for help, just like Jeanette's friend did. Sometimes you got to be humble. And so the banker looked at him for a couple minutes, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to help you." And so where no one else, you know, is able to get a farm, he got one. And, you know, he wasn't wealthy. And then there was the story, and this is a good story too. It was about the farmer, and everyone's crops were destroyed. Destroyed! No crops, no money, no crops. So his wife said, "What will we do?" And the farmer said, "Well, we're going to replant." It wasn't time to plant the crops, but they did, and they did have a harvest. Nobody else had a harvest, just them. They were faithful, and they said, "Well, God will help us somehow," and he did. And then this is the all-time best story ever. This was on my dad's side. Okay, the Mormons, you know, they were farmers. They were all farmers. They were farmers in Missouri before they came to Utah. And what happened was, the crops were coming up, and here comes thousands of thousands of locusts, and you know, just devouring the plants. There wasn't pesticide, and so they didn't know what to do. So they prayed to God. I mean, it was disaster. They were ruined. You would starve if the crops didn't come in. So they all prayed to God for help, and in came thousands of seagulls and ate all the locusts that were devouring their crops. And so I added 6. If things look bleak, pray to God for help. And I want to thank you guys. Oh, and this was another thing. So I see some of you guys are doing the cutting board thing. So that makes me happy too. So, okay, you guys, read those comments. When I started this, it was my idea to create a resource where people could leave their good ideas, just like the cake, just like, you know, the lovable comments, and a positive, uplifting environment. And that has happened way past my expectations. And then on the Twitter, what I decided to do is put all the recipes from now on. So if you're looking for a recipe, you know, just go to my Twitter. And so thank you guys, and God bless you all.